Out in the society, people are working very hard to be ahead of the rest. I challenge you today, it is not good enough to be ahead of the rest if you're not ahead of your best. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Paul Kimani NW, as I help you in the journey to be ahead of your best. Begin by giving us a story. Back in the year 2012, when I was just about to join Kenyatta University, my uncle, whom I really trusted because he had just graduated from the University of Nairobi, gave me 3 advice. Advice number 1, he told me that in campus, you need an understanding girlfriend who, after spending a lot of time trying to crack the head to understand mathematics, can come and comfort you. He also told me to ensure that at least every Friday I'm going out for a rave. And the advice number 3 was that at least every Friday I should take some beer to cool the mind. Having been brought up in a village that was very remote, in where it's not even in the Google map, actually the place is so cold. So having been brought up in such an area, I don't think that little drunkardness is something that we could encourage. Also, I was born and brought up and raised in a Christian foundation, so I couldn't have maybe imagined of taking beer. Neither could I have thought of going out for a rave. But honestly speaking, getting a girlfriend was not such a huge task for me. But when I got to KU, I found these ladies. You know them. They dress to kill. I don't know to kill. You could look at them and you could wonder, are they wearing a skirt or a scarf? Someone told me it's called a handkerchief. Okay, that's a story for another day. Now, the blouses they are wearing, the buttons, they started too late and ended too early, exposing almost 3/4 of the stomach. Now, where I was brought up, we used to greet each other, hey, hello, how are you? Now you come to this institution and you find that the greetings that they're greeting you is a hug. So you could be given the first hug on a tupambao. And you know, there is also this kind of narrative that goes in the university whereby you are told that you don't go to the university to study, you study to go to the university. Again, they don't tell you that help is around. Normally, they will tell you that you're normally being paid to learn. So I got, and in the first few months, I was in the confusion that could get each and every other person in life. First, you're from a very remote area. Second, you're in campus. There is all this excitement. You move from one place to another, trying to get the 3 advices, at least, even if not the 3. 1 for a girlfriend has been optimized. And I was almost wasting my life in a whole 1 month of confusion until I came up someone who helped me. And how many of us today are still in the same confusion of life, maybe out of a decision that you made or out of an advice that you are given? Maybe you are seeing it is too late to change, or you are thinking, I wish I can get someone who will help me to make up the right decision. In this video, I'm going to discuss 5 important decision-making processes. I believe that they're going to be helpful unto you. And maybe before we continue, I remind you to hit the notification bell down there in case you have not subscribed. Please subscribe to my channel. Point number 1, the decision that you are about to make. Is it the right decision? Did you know that there is always 1,000,001 decisions that you can make? Instead of making one wrong decision, why can't you go out for an option number 2 or think whether maybe the decision you're making is the right? How do you know the decision that you're making is the right or not? Or for instance, how do you understand that the person giving you an advice is giving you the right advice? Always judge their honesty, judge the knowledge that they have and the motive that they have as they are giving you that advice. Point number 2 on decision making is time. Now, time has 2 important aspects. Time will either break or build you. I have heard of so many cases of whereby people have got into a relationship, but with time, some characters are exposed. Others have started a project, but with time you realize it was not maybe the best option at that time. Others have wasted time waiting for the right time. Now, time will either build or break you. Aspect number 2 about time is that time is always right. There is no single morning that you woke up and the sun rose in the west or set in the east. There is no single day that you woke up and the sun rose in the evening and set in the morning. The sun will always rise in the morning and set in the evening. time will always be right. The question is the right thing. The question is not about time, it's about the right thing. Do you know today may not be the right time for you, may not be the right thing for you to marry, but that doesn't mean that it's not the right time. Time is always right. The issue is the thing to be done. The issue that we find ourselves is doing the wrong thing at the right time. For instance, today may be the right time for your friend to marry. Just because it is not the right time for you to marry, it doesn't mean that it's not the right time. The issue is only that it's not the right thing. But that means it is the right thing for something else. For instance, it may be the right thing for you to concentrate on your studies. It may be the right thing for you to concentrate on ministry. If you do the right thing at the right time, it will always be an advantage for you. So time is always right. The question is the right thing to be done at that right. Number 3 that you need to consider is the cost of your decision. Every decision that you make, some of them, they will require your economic, your spiritual, and your emotional support. If you're not ready to give yourself financially, emotionally, and spiritually, then you better not take up such a decision, because every decision that you make, whether it's the right or the wrong decision, every decision has its own cost. Every decision has its own consequences, and every decision have its own fulfillments that need to be fulfilled for it to materialize. Point number 4 is the impact that your decision have towards all the involved party. Some decisions that you make, they may be pleasing to you, but it's not pleasing to people. Others may be pleasing to people, but it's not pleasing to you. Now, whether it's pleasing to you or it's not pleasing to people, a decision have to be made. But the decision that you make should first of all consider the peace that you have. That is the peace that you shall have at with the decision. And also, if it's possible, don't hurt the other party with the decision. I know sometimes it is inevitable, but it is always manageable. Imagine of a girl who wakes up in the morning and tells the boyfriend it's over between us. Maybe there was not even a preparation for the decision. Before you make up every decision, so that the other party doesn't have to commit suicide, always make sure that the decision that you're making, at least you're considering the other party, and also you're considering your peace. Number 5 about decision making is the decision that you're making in line with the will of God. Most of us have failed to make a decision just because it was not convenient with you at that time. Some of the decisions that God will call us to make, they may not be the convenient for us at that time. But if it is in His will, He's going to grant you the grace to make up the decision, and even to flow with the decision, and to sacrifice or do all that it calls for that decision. My prayer, hope, and desire is that this video will be a help unto you, and that you're going to make the right decision.